So people, I wish I would have the ability to share some thoughts in a more in a faster way, because I don't have so much time for this. But this is absolutely important. See, I think that the conservatives, the so-called conservatives, they are getting also many things wrong. And the worst part of this is that, in my opinion, the idea of being a leftist today and still proud leftist is very, very, very questionable, because the leftists, they were speaking about freedom and about freedom of thought and all such things, and now out of the Sunday they inverted the way of thought, at least the leftists of the politics. Okay, so you can imagine now a kind of how is called it, conversion. Maybe you will see now some leftists converting themselves, and you have a lot of leftists. And what happens is that the conservatives, they get many things wrong. First of all, because they are becoming an identity called the conservatives. And what we have, first of all, is this drive in the Western tradition for truth, for facts, for reason. Okay, and this is what matters. And sometimes this drive was also present in what we call it the left. And you need to remember that in politics you can be against or pro something, and that's why you have left and right. And after Marx, you have the Marxist ideologies as a characterization of the thoughts that you choose when you want to be against something. Okay, so you have this identification between Marxism and some Marxist ideologies and all variables of Marxism and leftism. Okay, and then you have also this identification of being right-wing with being more conservative. But if you are a so-called conservative and you begin to build an identity over it, you are actually doing the same mistake of most Marxists and leftists, is the fixation with an identity. And that's the true core of fascism as well. The point is that in our historical tradition, or in our human essence as traditional beings, we are not like dogs or cows or pigs. We have a tradition, that's our essence. And even Marxism is somehow a tradition. Okay, see, we have this essence of building things and conserving them, and that's very important. And for it, don't get crazy with now also a retroactive conservatism or also a blind conservatism. You should understand some criteria that I thought about. So we have a tradition like a pyramid, okay, and most of the things that we have, we should conserve it because they are good. Something is smelling. I think it is in the kitchen. I forgot something. See, because I try to do this fast because it is important. Then I would like to do this with more depth and analysis. And in other hand, I have to say because the people are getting crazy in all the sides. So see, we have a pyramid, okay? So most of the things we have, for example, my piano here, for example, this kind of shirt, yeah, they are old stuff and they are nice stuff. They need to be kept because we did them. Do you understand? It's like your drawings that you have in your room, and they are kind of sometimes ugly or not, but you want to keep them because they are part of your identity in a very good sense and essential sense. So we have religion, music, we have a lot of old stuff. And most part of them, they are structural to our identity as human beings, not cultural identity. Fuck that. As a nation or human beings. And they just, it's absolutely not a problem that they are like, that they still, that they stay as they are. And sometimes to stay exactly as they are means that you do research to really capture the source and the original freshness of such movements. That's why you have phenomenology, you have anthropology, because also to keep something, it's a kind of paradox, because to keep something as it is, you need also thought and new fresh thoughts to keep as it is. For example, the astrological source inside the Bible, they were not clear for many people, and so you need to do research to understand what was the fresh source, what is the real act of conservate something. Now, do you understand? Because otherwise it perverts itself. So, for example, the Catholicism, as we have today, mainstream Catholicism, is a wrong conservatism, so to say. Do you understand? Most of the times, and on the other hand, it's also perverted Catholicism because it's so tolerant for other ideas that are coming that you ask, okay, do you want to be Catholic or not? So that's why Catholicism today is a huge confusion. To be, for example, true Catholic or Christian or also other religion, I don't know, Wicca, or to be a true astrologist, you need to do some research to understand what was the fresh version of this. Okay, so we have a pyramid, and this pyramid means that you conserve more things and you still change some things that are on the top. You understand the analogy? So for example, regarding art, the conservatives, they get some things wrong because they don't understand that, for example, music composers that are really lovers of the art as a philosophical art, they want to get rid of tonal concepts in the sense of Mozart and Beethoven, and some cadences that you absolutely don't want to hear anymore. And even Mozart or Beethoven or Wagner, they got tired of some musical commonplace. So that's normal that you want to progress in music, okay? And this progress can be also an absolutely a mess. It can be authentic, or it can be for just a political tool. It can be many things, but you have their conservative that they can just understand the music of Beethoven and the music of Palestrina, okay. And as I said, I would like to get in depth with this, but the main message here in this video is I do a video to highlight this, is that conservatives they are becoming also an identity, and maybe also libertarians, because in a nutshell you have the leftist bubble and the center and the right wing bubble that is becoming the same bubble more or less, but in the center you have a different kind of bubble that is maybe more sane at the moment, that can understand some exceptions or some necessity to go forward as a culture, okay. And then you have a bubble that is getting desesperated, and and only Beethoven is the music, and I don't know. I don't want to even mention other details, because if I mention, I want to also to give my view on this. So you have the situation where you just need to have reason, freedom of thought, these values that are the core values of our Western tradition, and regarding this, you have to be conservative, if that is to be conservative. Okay, so the point is that forget the identity, because it's not like okay, you say you are conservative, so now you are an angel and everything is right. You just follow the agenda. So you are again a new identity that will be a new kind of fascism maybe. But the true fascism happening now it has a leftist character. True fascism historically has its roots in Mussolini. That this is a kind of leftism and Marxism. First of all, you just have this when you exclude God and any other value to cause the unification of the society. For example, love between man and woman, family. Because if you have a strong family, so you have a less strong state on the point of view. So you weak the family. You have a separate islands called individuals, and these sad separated individuals, they depend more and more and more on the state, and this is what happened now. And everything that I talked here to you is so clear for me, but maybe for you is not clear. So you just need to focus on truth, reason, logic, freedom of thought, the core identity as a Western civilization, and fuck this level of conservatism or something like this. In a philosophical tradition, it's interesting to call yourself a conservative regarding this matter, revolutionary regarding this matter, for example. And that's the way the use of these words go, and they are causing confusion. You have you are leftist. You are a left wing regarding this matter. You are a right wing regarding this matter. But today, if you say you are right wing or you are left wing, of course, the main significance is about the main political issues. So are you pro Trump or against Trump? Okay, so you have a kind of notion in which position you are. Okay, that's also important. But the overuse and the misuse of these terms will cause a huge division and a huge confusion. And what we want some basic things. We want to understand what is fact, truth, freedom of thought. We want to let other beings express themselves as they are, and that's the point. And we don't want that some identity does a monopoly of the whole political structure. And I would also not like that the Catholicism does a monopoly of the whole political structure, but I would also not like that some sexual identity does a monopoly of the whole political structure. I would also not like that an atheist point of view, and very progressive, in a progressive way, atheist and questionable point of view, like the communism, with a background of the hugest genocides in history. I would not like that this has the monopoly of our political structure, and principally now the structure of our social media. So fuck those identities, because you have now these bubbles of social media, and each social media, each app will have an identity, and this sucks. Okay, we just want an average level of reasoning and cultivation of Western values as we had at the time of Socrates and Plato, at least. Okay, that you come to the agora, the so-called agora, and you give your point of view, and it can be a very strange point of view, like the philosophers of the Cynic school that just lived without home, etc., and that this was okay for them because they don't want nothing, okay, and they were criticized, but they could live like this. Okay, so this is what you want to conserve, the only thing that you want to conserve, but not the fixation on this word conservative, because you make some confusions. But it's still also true that you don't have to apologize if you say you are conservative about every issue or some issues, or if you are conservative about religion or whatever, because it's hard to not be conservative about religion, because the essence of religion is to conservate, is to relegare, to connect you with your mysterious past in God.